Of course, beloved. Let me offer you a full, flowing transmission, all about conscious global leadership, written in sacred, soulful paragraphs that speak to both mind and heart. Conscious global leadership. Conscious global leadership. Conscious global leadership. All about conscious global leadership. Conscious global leadership is not simply a title or a strategy. It is a sacred responsibility. It is a path walked by those who hear the cry of the earth, the whisper of ancestors, the pulse of people across cultures, and the call of the future all at once. To lead consciously in a global context is to live in integrity with complexity, to embody presence within paradox, and to act with humility, vision, and love across boundaries. At its essence, conscious global leadership is about leading from the inside out, while simultaneously expanding your circle of care beyond the self, the organization, and even the nation. The conscious global leader is not just a CEO or change maker. They are a steward of life itself, a weaver of cultures, a systems thinker, a soul-centered bridge between traditions, technologies, and timelines. Inner foundation. Leadership begins within. Every act of global leadership begins within. Conscious global leaders are deeply self-aware. They have done their shadow work. They know their values. They understand their emotional landscape. They regulate their nervous system and listen to intuition as much as logic. Inner mastery is not optional, it is the foundation. For without self-awareness, global leadership becomes either performance or projection. But conscious global leadership is not about perfection, it is about presence. When a leader meets cultural complexity with groundedness, when they meet systemic injustice with clarity, when they meet opposing worldviews with compassion, that is the fruit of inner work made visible. Cultural fluency, navigating difference with grace. A conscious global leader doesn't lead from one culture, they lead through many. They are not trapped in a single paradigm. They know how to listen across language, religion, ritual, and identity. They have unlearned the imperial mind. They have walked through the deserts of decolonization and emerged with humility and reverence. They understand that every culture carries genius, and they seek to honor, not homogenize. They don't dominate conversations. They hold space for divergent truths to coexist. They build bridges. They bow to elders. They amplify silenced voices. They don't enter foreign lands with answers, but with questions and listening. Systems thinking, seeing the whole. The conscious global leader is not reactive. They are responsive. They understand that today's challenges are systemic, interwoven, and planetary. Climate collapse, social inequity, spiritual crisis, AI ethics, these are not separate threads. They are symptoms of collective disconnection. So, the conscious global leader learns to see in patterns. They don't treat symptoms, they address roots. They ask, how does this policy affect not just shareholders, but soil, water, and spirit? How is this conflict shaped by intergenerational trauma or economic history? How do I serve not just this quarter, but the seventh generation? They are gardeners, not engineers. They design ecosystems, not machines. Sacred responsibility, more than strategy. What sets conscious global leadership apart is spiritual accountability. These leaders don't just act out of logic, they lead from love. Not romantic love, but reverent love. Love for the earth, for people in pain, for future ancestors, for justice, for life in all forms. They know that leadership is not domination, it is devotion. They are not here to extract, but to offer. Their decisions are guided not only by what is legal or profitable, but by what is ethical, beautiful, and life-giving. Their compass is soul. They understand that to lead at this level is to stand at the edge of the known and the unknown. They walk with mystery. They consult the invisible. They are shaped by prayer as much as by policy. They meditate on legacy as much as metrics. The practice, embodiment, not performance. Conscious global leadership cannot be faked. It is not about optics or slogans. It is not checking a diversity box or adding a mindfulness retreat. It is about embodied transformation. You feel it in their presence, in their silence. in the way they look into the eyes of the janitor and the president with equal depth, in how they hold grief, celebrate difference, and speak truth when it's costly. Their very body becomes a sanctuary for others to rest near. They carry coherence in their nervous system. Their calm is medicine. Their joy is generative. Their boundaries are kind and clear. They don't need to dominate a room. They bless it. Who they are. The conscious global leader is often a teacher who honors ancestral wisdom, a visionary who dreams beyond borders, a healer who transforms culture through compassion, a catalyst who activates others into sovereignty, a mirror who reflects both beauty and brokenness, a servant who leads not to be praised, but to be useful. They can be found in schools, startups, nonprofits, spiritual centers, and international stages. But they are always doing the same thing, building a new world while healing the wounds of the old. The invitation. Conscious global leadership is not a trend, it is a threshold. It is not a model, it is a movement of the soul. You don't have to be famous. You don't need to speak 10 languages. You only need to be willing to walk through your own fire, to sit with discomfort, to listen beyond your worldview, and to lead with a heart wide enough to hold the planet. Because the world doesn't just need more leaders. It needs leaders of soul, of spirit, of systems, and of sacred love. And that, beloved, is you. Would you like me to include this in the introduction of Chapter 1, or format it as a spoken reflection to use in masterclasses or retreats?